We're giving it a damn good clean over now. There's nothing sort of electronically wrong with it. Some cosmetics to deal with more than anything now. We're going to sort that joystick out. Just the last bits of things to make it arcade worthy. I'm going to order up the team welding probably tonight. That should hopefully get in the next couple of days, get it onto it. That'll be the last job. But so we're going to strip the bezel off and clean this monitor glass up at the front, because that looks a bit like it's caked in muck, centuries worth and things like that, and see what we've got underneath there. Switch the game off, got the bezel off, all the muck that's on there. Just before I finish hoovering it up, Mark's been going around the back of the cab, getting the last bits of the muck from around the back. This is the last of the crap from around the front of it. And that's it, that's about as good as that's going to get. So what's interesting is the construction here, because it's a square monitor mount board, which is sort of traditionally used for games that can be changed horizontal or vertical. So I'm just wondering if some other kind of game was ever using this style of cabinet. Have to look into that one. So joystick's out of the machine, and we're having a look at the control panel. We're giving it a bit more of a clean up. It's come out really nice, and it'll do for now. I'm definitely thinking about it's going to have to get replaced at some point, but it'll certainly do for now. We're giving the buttons a polish up. We're taking the stick out. Now, here's the old stick. It's not good, not in a good particular shape. So, fortunately, found in my spares box that we actually have one. Mark's at the moment giving the stick, it's a little bit rusty. Mark's got a polishing bit on the Dremel. It's looking a million times better than it did a couple of minutes ago. Like all sparks coming off it, Mark. Is that just literally the rust?
Yeah.
So we've polished up that joystick that we're mucking about with, and it looks brilliant, and well, it looks as good as it's going to get anyway without complete strip down. So we're just setting up the leaf switches so that they work nice and easily, because they were just having a bit of a faff. Mark's taking it out of test mode now. Go and pop the panel up and let's have a go. Press the service switch, go for it. We'll put all the stuff back on it. Plays nice now, doesn't it, that?
Stuck them up slightly.
It's what, sorry?
Stuck going up.
Right, so it's default down, I would have thought, because you seem to be going down now.
That's alright.
Yeah. Cool. Can't run into them. Right, let's put the bezel back on and everything. Right, back to the bench time it is for the Dig Dug PCB. There's nothing actually wrong with the PCB, it's just we're going to take advantage of being able to do a little mod to it. One of the things I've hated so much about some of these games is no proper free play mode in them, or a free play mode that just sticks at the press player 1, press player 2 start button type screens and burns into your monitor after a few weeks of that kind of things when you take them to the shows and stuff. Anyway, so I dug around online and found a set of free play ROMs that were there. Now I have a ROM burner courtesy of Mark that's sitting over here waiting to be used on a machine, but I didn't have any of the right ROM types, which are 2732. So out to my good friends at UKVAC and to one particular friend, Sea Monkey, Adrian, and he was good enough to burn me 3 ROMs that I need. Now I'm going to put the links down in the bottom for where the ROM sets can be got from. So what we're going to do is going to take these. There's only 3 ROMs that actually replace, which is ROM 1, ROM 2 and ROM 4. We're going to pop these onto the board, and apparently this gives us free play with the track mode. Now we don't need high score save kit because Dig Dug already has high score save kit built into it via the EA ROM that Atari were quite famous for putting. I won't go into the complications of using an EA ROM, but let's just say you need some weird voltages to write to it and all the rest of it. So I'm going to pop these now onto the board. We'll come back in a second when I've popped them on, then we'll go back to the cab and we'll just show you fired up and working. And here we have it. So we swapped out now, those are the original 3 ROMs, and we've replaced ROMs 1, 2 and 4. Now, the only thing that's just slightly bothering me about this particular changeover, and it might have just been me when I typed the ROM references to get the chips labelled to cover up the erasable socket, was that I wrote on DD1-1, 1-2 and 1-4 onto my message to Adrian. And checking the board, what we've got is a 1-1, 1-2 and then a 2-4B. However, I'm certain the board references are absolutely spot on and there should be no problems. The thing is with these, it's take a leap of faith. The worst that's going to happen here is that the game itself isn't going to work. It's not going to play correctly or something like that, or it's not going to start up, in which case we just revert the ROM changes back. And the reason that we're not bothered is because these are ROMs, that all they do is interact with some RAM and the CPU, and as long as we've got the orientation around correctly, which we have, we've got the notch there, and the notch there, which is correct, and the board themselves actually have the notches. See if I can get that in focus. Put the light on. Yeah, there we go. Right. Down there is the picture of the notch, and there, and there. So we know we've got the chip the right way round. So at the worst, it's just not going to start up. At least we're not going to be pouring voltage into the wrong pins and things like that. It's a ROM, it's memory. That's the worst that can happen. Let's go take it back to the machine, fit it, attach it back in, power it up, and let's see that it works. Board is now back inside the machine.
Oh, it's not plugged in.
And the machine's not plugged in at the moment, but we're just doing a quick check to make sure everything's in place. So what we're going to do is make sure those edge connectors are correct. And Atari put tight looms in these cabs when they first made them, and I think they just intended that you'd release a few of the screws to get the cables off. So if Mark wants to go ahead now and, yeah, click, click, that's good sound. We'll go around the front. And with any luck, you're seeing it in real time as I'm doing it. I'm hearing a couple of good clicks. That's encouraging. Screen does take a while to warm up on this machine. Good news is the start lamps are not stuck on, which is also a good thing for Atari boards. And we're getting screen. Now it says credit 0 on there at the minute. And I believe we possibly have some dip switch settings to change to make it correct. So what we'll do, there is a test switch that we can click down there whilst we adjust PCB dip switches. So at the moment we're on 1 coin 1 credit, and I think if I remember the instruction manual correctly for this ROM change, we have to change the dip switch to something like 1 coin 3 credits or 3 coin 7 credits. It's one of the sets. So let me get an iPad or something like that and bring up the dip switch settings that are going to be applicable to this mod. Right, so I've been onto a jrock.com site, which is where the patch comes from, and been through the source. There's a note in the source code TXT file that comes with it that says that it should be 3 coins, 2 credits is the one that has been replaced with freeplay. So that looking at that here in the manual, 3 coins, yeah, 2 coins, 3 coins for 1 credit. Is that not right? Okay, so let's try. Has he got that exactly right? I'm not sure. 1 coin for 2 credits, 1 coin for 3 coins. Does he mean 3 coins, 2 credits? I'll tell you what, I think it's the last set of switches. So what we want is 1, 2 and 3 at 8D switched off. And I think that's right.
1, 2 and
3? Yeah, 1, 2 and 3 switched off. Mark's behind the cab having a muck around with it. Ah, that's 3 coins, 1 credit.
Right.
Turn that last one off.
Number 8.
No, it shouldn't be 8.
Oh no, 1, 2 and 3 is off.
Yeah, 1, 2 and 3 is off. 3 coins.
3 back on.
Ah, no, that's 2 coins, 1 credit. Turn. So turn what was on before. 3 coins, 1 credit. So hang on. The instructions are a little bit confusing on JRock's side, so just to demystify it, what it's actually talking about is the left coin mechanism. So what you actually want is switch 7D there, and he is right, it is 3 coins, 2 coins, 3 credits, which is that one, which is switches 6 and 7. You switch those off, and it now says free play on the machine front. So what we're going to do is put the manual down and switch the test switch back off. We go through crosshatch, game will boot now, and it now says push start button 1 or 2 players. It's not supposed to do that.
Maybe that's the mod.
Let's switch the machine off and on and see what happens there. So power it up, pull the plug. It shouldn't go into that mode, it should be with the track mode. One moment, try again. Back on. No. That's not quite right. Okay, let's investigate. Alright, so unfortunately it looks like that ROM upgrade doesn't actually do free play with the track. It gives you free play mode only. So I'm gonna peruse the net and see if I can find some alternate ROMs and things like that. I'm certain it's been done. So anyway, that's where we are back now. So we've got the upgraded ROMs in there, so at least we can do proper free play and just leave it, so we don't need to keep crediting the thing up by opening the coin door. Also means we don't need to fit a credit button, which I really don't want to mess up a coin. Even if this door is a little bit on the tatty side, I really don't want to mess it up. So I think we're going to abandon this mod. I'm going to still upload the video though, even though it's a bit of a fail for it, just to kind of sort of point out that these things can be done, and sometimes they don't quite go exactly as you expect. I think I probably got a little bit caught up in the excitement of finishing it up real quick. So anyway, so that's enough for now. We're going to just I'll leave the current ROMs on the board, because the 3 that I pulled off I can actually use on the other Dig Dug board to get it to hopefully get that fixed up anyway. So it's not all's not lost. So let's leave it there, and I'll put up another video very soon.